Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're getting into a really powerful book, one that's helped so many people, creators, entrepreneurs, really anyone facing a big project. It's Steven Pressfield's The War of Art.
Yeah, it's a classic in its niche, isn't it? Published back in 2002.
Exactly. And that timing is interesting, right? Digital tools were just starting to boom, making it easier to, put your stuff out there.
Uh-huh. Democratizing creativity, in a way.
But that also brought this whole new wave of pressure. Suddenly the market felt crowded, and the internal fight to actually make the thing, that got louder too.
And Pressfield knew that fight firsthand. He's a successful writer now, known for great historical fiction.
Right. But this book, The War of Art, it comes directly from his own experience. Decades of struggling, rejection, doing all sorts of jobs just to keep his writing dream alive.
Absolutely. That personal battle with self-doubt, with what he ended up calling resistance, that's not just backstory. It's the heart and soul of the book.
Yeah.
It's what makes it ring so true.
So here's a thought to kick us off. What if the biggest thing holding you back from your creative potential, or even just starting that passion project, what if it isn't about talent or opportunity?
What if it's something inside?
Exactly, an invisible force working against you from within. And that idea feels incredibly relevant today, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. With the gig economy, freelance life, everyone trying to build a personal brand or start something creative.
Yeah, we're all trying to create, and we all hit those walls. It feels universal.
Definitely.
So our goal here today is to help you, our listener, really understand this adversary, this resistance Pressfield talks about, and more importantly, equip you with the mindset to face it.
Moving from what he calls the amateur way of thinking.
To the professional way. Get ready, because this could really shift how you look at your creative work.
Okay, let's dive in. The absolute core of this book is this concept Pressfield names resistance with a capital R.
Right. He describes it as this omnipresent, invisible force. Kind of insidious, actually. It's what stops you from doing your creative work.
And it's sneaky. It's not just procrastination, although that's a big one.
Oh, yeah. It's also that crippling self-doubt, the fear that freezes you, the endless excuses your brain cooks up.
Even physical distractions, right? Suddenly needing to clean the fridge when you're supposed to be writing.
Totally. It's that nagging voice, that sudden urge to check your phone right when you sit down to work. Or, like you said, reorganizing something completely unimportant.
And the brilliance of giving it that name resistance is that it externalizes it. It takes it outside of you.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Suddenly, it's not you being inherently flawed or lazy. It's an opponent, an adversary you can actually identify and, well, fight.
Right, like naming your enemy.
Exactly. Pressfield says just recognizing resistance for what it is, this universal thing, not some personal failing, that's the huge first step. It kind of empowers you, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And one of resistance's biggest weapons, no surprise, is fear.
Yeah, fear looms large.
But Pressfield's take on fear is, well, it's pretty profound. He doesn't just say face your fear. He suggests fear isn't just natural. It's actually a compass.
A compass? How so?
Pointing directly towards the work that matters most. Think about it. If you feel really scared or hesitant about starting something, it probably means that project is genuinely important. To you, maybe even to the world. So instead of running from the fear...
You lean into it, see it as a sign.
Exactly. Embrace it as an indicator of significance. If you're scared, you might actually be on the right track.
That's a powerful reframe. It turns fear from a stop sign into like a signpost pointing the way.
Right. And connected to fear, obviously, is procrastination.
Resistance's favorite tactic, probably. Pressfield calls it a deceptive comfort. It feels easier in the moment, but it just delays the real work.
And he doesn't give you complicated hacks for it, does he?
No, not really. His advice is blunt. Just start now.
Yeah.
Even if it's messy, even if you only have 10 minutes, just the act of beginning, that's like landing a punch on resistance.
And this leads us right into maybe the biggest shift the book pushes for. Adopting what Pressfield calls the professional mindset.
Ah, yes. Turning pro. This is key.
He draws this really sharp line between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs, he says, wait for inspiration. They let resistance call the shots. They need the conditions to be perfect.
Right. While professionals, they just show up consistently. They do the work. Doesn't matter if they're in the mood or if the stars are aligned or if they feel like it.
It's not about waiting for the muse. It's about being there when she decides to show up.
Precisely. It shifts the focus from innate talent, which amateurs often get hung up on, to just pure, unwavering commitment, showing up for your craft.
And how do you do that consistently? How do you build that muscle?
Discipline. Simple as that, though not easy. Establishing a routine, sticking to it, that's how you build momentum. That's your defense against resistance's tricks.
So it's like building a habit, a sacred time for your work.
Exactly. And he sees discipline not as like punishment, but as respect. Respect for your calling, an act of self-love almost.
Okay, but what about failure? That's another huge fear that stops people. The fear of messing up, of not being good enough.
Right. And Pressfield tackles that head on too.
Yeah.
He completely reframes failure. It's not a setback, not the end of the road.
So what is it then?
It's just
Yeah.
part of the process, an integral, necessary part of the creative journey. It builds resilience. It teaches you things.
So every failed attempt is just data.
Kind of, yeah. He basically says every great creator has a mountain of failures behind them. Each one was a lesson, not a final judgment. It's feedback, something to learn from, not be crushed by.
Okay, so if failure is part of it and discipline is key, does that mean we just grind it out and hope for inspiration? Or how does the muse fit into this professional approach?
Good question. No, he definitely doesn't say just grind without hope. He connects discipline directly to inspiration.
Okay.
He says the muse, or inspiration, doesn't just randomly strike the idle. She favors the ones who are already working. You show up, you put in the hours.
And then inspiration might visit.
Exactly. It's a reward for the effort, not something you wait for before you start. You have to step up the stairs, as he puts it, not just stare at them.
That makes sense. You earn the inspiration through the work itself.
You got it. And the way the book is structured actually reinforces this whole idea. It feels very tactical.
How so?
It's in 3 parts. Book 1 is called Resistance, Defining the Enemy. It's all about just recognizing how this force shows up in your life, like reconnaissance.
Identifying the target.
Right. Then book 2 is Combating Resistance, Turning Pro. This is the practical playbook, how to build that discipline, how to show up like a professional, the how-to.
Okay. And the third part?
Book 3 is Beyond Resistance, the Higher Realm. This gets a bit more spiritual, you could say. It talks about viewing your work as a calling, something that connects you to a higher purpose, leading to that feeling of transcendence you get when you're really in the flow.
So it maps out the whole journey. Identify the enemy, build your defenses and offense, and then understand the deeper meaning of the fight.
Perfectly put. And the core argument running through it all is crystal clear. Resistance is the big bad.
Yeah.
And you beat it with discipline, commitment, and that fundamental shift to thinking like a pro. The real power comes from just doing the work, showing up day after day.
Okay, so we've covered the core tactics, the battle plan against resistance, but let's zoom out a bit. What are the deeper themes here? What's the bigger picture Pressfield is painting?
Well, connecting those dots, resistance, creativity, turning pro, Corone, they're all woven together, aren't they? He uses these really strong, almost mythic metaphors. Resistance isn't just an annoyance, it's this dark force, an adversary. Sometimes he even calls it evil.
Right, gives it real weight.
And the creative journey isn't just a hobby. It's an epic battle, maybe even a spiritual quest. And like you said, the structure itself, those short, punchy chapters, feels like getting tactical briefings before heading into the fight.
So the themes themselves evolve through the book.
Definitely. You start by just spotting the enemy in book 1. Then book 2 is all about that crucial transformation, turning pro, which for Pressfield is this massive internal shift.
It's not just about habits, it's about identity.
Yeah, I think so. It's moving from just passively hoping for inspiration to actively, disciplinedly engaging with your craft, like being initiated into a different way of being creative.
And that struggle feels so universal. That's got to be why it resonates with so many different kinds of people.
Absolutely. Fighting those internal barriers, that's just part of being human, isn't it? Whether you're an artist starting a business, trying to get fit, whatever.
Right. It doesn't matter what the calling is.
Exactly. That message about discipline, about persistence, it cuts across everything. It's for anyone with something they feel called to do, but keep, putting off.
It makes me wonder, though, how does The War of Art sit alongside other books about creativity? There are quite a few good ones out there, like Elizabeth Gilbert's Big Magic comes to mind. Feels different.
That's a really good comparison, actually. They are very different in feel. The War of Art stands out because it's so gritty.
Gritty.
Yeah. While Big Magic might focus more on the joy, the curiosity, the sort of magical, playful side of creativity, ideas having consciousness and choosing you.
Right, a lighter touch, maybe?
Pressfield zeroes in on the battle, the uncomfortable hard work of fighting procrastination, fighting fear, His approach is very no-nonsense, almost militant, really, highly disciplined.
So less about wooing the muse and more about wrestling resistance.
Exactly. It's less about waiting for magic, more about showing up consistently to earn it. If big magic is embracing the creative spirit, the war of art is the boot camp for creative action. It's about doing the work even when it feels awful because the work demands it.
That distinction is super helpful. Okay, now let's bring it home for everyone listening. This is where it gets really practical.
Yeah.
How do we take these big ideas and actually use them?
Right, the turning pro framework, that's
Yeah.
the core strategy. And honestly, it's pretty straightforward in concept, even if it's hard in practice.
So what's the first step?
Treat your creative work, whatever it is, writing, painting, starting that business, learning an instrument. Treat it with the seriousness of a job, a professional vocation.
Like real commitment, not just a hobby you do when you feel inspired.
Exactly. Bring that discipline, that dedication every single day. It's your work.
Okay, so daily application. What does that look like?
The number one thing is a consistent routine. Set aside a specific time each day for your creative work. Make it non-negotiable.
Like a meeting you can't cancel.
Precisely. It's not just about scheduling, it's about building that consistent muscle against resistance. That dedicated time, that sacred space, signals to yourself and to resistance. I'm serious about this.
And accountability. Does that play a role?
Oh, huge. Pressfield would say, track what you do. Set small, achievable goals. Celebrate the wins, even the tiny ones, because every time you show up, you're beating resistance for that day.
So it's about actively choosing the work over the distractions, setting boundaries.
Yes. If you block out 2 hours to write, that's writing time, not email time, not social media time, not maybe I'll just quickly do the dishes time. Protect that time fiercely.
And for digging into our own heads, our own specific struggles.
Self-reflection is key. Pressfield really encourages you to figure out where resistance hits you the hardest. What are your go-to excuses, your biggest fears, your rationalizations?
Knowing your enemy's tactics.
Exactly. Naming them makes them easier to fight. And he's a big proponent of journaling, too. Write down your efforts, the obstacles you hit that day, any insights you gain. It helps you see your own patterns with resistance and track your progress.
Does he offer proof this works beyond just his own experience?
Absolutely. He's very open about his own decades of struggle, which is incredibly validating. He talks about working terrible jobs, facing constant rejection, and it makes it clear that even super successful people fight this battle.
So it's not just us.
Not at all. And he also points to historical figures, artists, writers, innovators throughout history who clearly wrestled with the same internal demons. It proves it's this universal human thing when you try to create something meaningful.
So the bottom line for you, listening right now, it means show up, do the work, know that the fight against resistance is real, it will show up.
But it's absolutely winnable.
Okay, let's recap the biggest takeaways from this deep dive. First, resistance. It's universal, it's sneaky, it shows up as procrastination, fear, doubt, and maybe most importantly,
It often gets strongest right before a breakthrough, like a final boss battle,
Wow.
recognizing it is your first weapon.
right. And second, creativity isn't some mystical gift you wait for. It's a practice, a discipline.
It demands commitment, consistent effort, showing up, not waiting.
The war of art fundamentally offers a way to redefine your whole relationship with your creative work. It empowers you to take control, to shape your own destiny,
And it shifts the focus, doesn't it? Away from needing external praise or validation.
and towards finding satisfaction in the process itself, in the simple act of doing the work.
So who is this book really for?
I'd say anyone with a passion they keep delaying, anyone with a project whispering or shouting at them, anyone feeling stuck before they even start.
Right. And the question for you then becomes, how might you grow from engaging with these ideas? What could happen if you really confront your own resistance?
It could unlock incredible potential,
Yeah.
help you finally do the work you feel you're meant to do.
Now, Pressfield definitely pushes for a disciplined, almost, militaristic approach, which is powerful for breaking through blocks.
But it leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it?
It does. How do we as individuals balance that intense battle-ready commitment against resistance with the joy, the spontaneity, the sort of organic flow that's also part of creativity?
Is it always a war? Or can it sometimes be a dance?
Yeah, what's your unique mix? How do you blend the discipline with the delight in your own creative life?
Something definitely worth pondering as you face your own creative battles. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
We hope you feel a little more equipped, maybe a little more inspired, to engage in your own war of art and to win it one day at a time.